Hey everyone, and welcome to our brand new series, Crazy Elan Theories. Ezra, which is set to release next year, is one of the most anticipated books in terms of lore and completely altering our understanding of Elan.
I've been touching on certain things that have conceptually changed the whole foundation of the entire world of Elan. So, and you'll be getting that when you get to Ezra.
So I thought it would be fitting to create a series covering some of the crazy theories we've had about Elan. And while I'm going to use facts, passages, and any other piece of information I can find to try and convince you that these theories are true, they're probably not. But that's not going to stop me from trying because it's fun. And since we're going to be pulling from every book, short story, and blog post Sullivan has ever made, there are definitely going to be spoilers for everything, so be forewarned. Anyway, let's get started with the first crazy Elan theory. The world is broken. And what does it have broken? The world. Malcolm said the world is broken. You ruined the world. We are told over and over again that Elan is broken. And not only is Elan broken, but the afterlife Pyre is also broken. Both Pyre and the face of Elan are shattered and in splinters. And when speaking about the current state of Pyre, Sullivan has stated, this isn't how it was supposed to be. So all of this begs the question, what was it that Turin did that broke the world? The obvious answer is that he murdered his brother, started a war, and killed countless people. But does that really make sense? Mari tells Bryn, Pharaoh was always smart, arrogant, and insecure. She admired her older brothers but resented them too. She believed they got all the glory. If Turin hadn't invented war, she most certainly would have. And even if Pharaoh hadn't invented war, someone else would have eventually. As for all the people Turin killed, while they did end up in Pyre prematurely, it's not like they wouldn't have ended up there eventually anyway. So what of Turin's actions actually caused the world to break? There only seems to be two things that were different because of his actions. One, Turin and Muriel are immortal, and two, Riyria is dead. Of those two things, it is most likely the second that is causing the issue. So why has Riyria's death broken the world and Pyre? One possibility is because Pyre is not supposed to be the end. When someone dies, their body, which is their part of Elan, dies. But their soul, their part of Eton, goes down the river of death and into Pyre. Some souls stop in Rel, others continue to Nifril, and some even continue to Allison. When Bryn goes to Allison, she is then able to go through a dark, sinister pool and appear in the Sacred Grove. And from there we know there's a door from the Sacred Grove into Erevan, back on Elan. This whole thing creates a circle. Perhaps a circle of rebirth. And perhaps that was the purpose of the realms of Pyre. Souls would die and go to Rel, where they could put to rest their anger and stress from their lives. Then once they did that and finally decided they wanted more, that they were meant for more, they could pass to Nifril. Then in Nifril, they could learn to strive, but also to cast down their baggage, like Roan did. And then once they realized that life wasn't just about glory in themselves, they could pass to Allison and find happiness. Then once they decided it was time, they could pass to the Sacred Grove. Bryn's journey follows that same path, though it of course points out the issue that is to this truly being a circle. When Bryn arrives at the Sacred Grove, she's only a spirit. She has no body. But this is where we go back to Riyria. Sullivan has stated, Riyria doesn't grant life, she is life. Eton is the universe, Elan is the world, and Riyria is sort of like Mother Nature. She is life itself. all living things originate with her. This is why Elan is called the great-grandmother. So the problem posed by the death of Eluria would make a lot of sense now. If this were a cycle of rebirth, Eluria's death would mean spirits ready to return to Elan would no longer be able to have life breathed back into them by Eluria. If we continue with Sullivan's statement though, he says, "Understanding this should pose an awkward mystery which I will let the more clever of you work out. The answer will be provided in, what else, Esarhaddon." The obvious problem is, if Eluria is truly dead, how is life still on Elan? There are still plants, animals, humans, Frey, dwarves, and Gazelle. The art still works as well, and the art is derived from life and energy. So all of this seems to point that Eluria is not truly and eternally dead. If we rewind to before Turin's War, and even before the existence of the Aesira, Eluria had a real death, but was able to be brought back. Speaking about those events, Beatrice states that, after seeing Elan's sorrow, Eton relented and granted immortality, allowing Elan to breathe life into Eluria once more. But each year, Eluria had to die for the span of 3 months. During this time, Eton would have time alone with Elan. So that brings us to a point where the cycle of rebirth could work as long as Eluria is able to return to life. There is still another issue with this theory though. While this seems like something Elan would definitely want, Eton, on the other hand, probably would not want this situation, as he had to be convinced to even do this for Eluria, who he loved. So this may be a plan that Elan is keeping from Eton. When recounting getting Eton's key, Elan tells Bryn, "I knew Turin would want to visit Eluria, but I also knew it was the same key that Eton had used to lock the doors of Pyre, the prison he kept my children in. Even now, I am not sure if Eton understood why I wanted it. He and we don't speak much anymore." So Elan is keeping her plan a secret for the time being from Eton. But she needs the key to unlock the way for her children to return. Now, doing this will cause Golrock, the final battle, but that is another river to cross when we get there.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. Be sure to subscribe and watch my other videos to learn more about the world of Elan and Riyria. Thanks!